Okay, no more asking in my live because I now realize that I have mastered this technology. So here I am coming to you live from the Azores. I am Patricia Cori, and I'm starting a little series of blasts that I call 1 minute of Zen. And so here goes. It's going to be more than 1 minute, of course, because I have to refine this because I'm used to doing long 2-hour interviews. All right, but my 1 minute of Zen is about toxicity, and I'm talking about toxic people, toxic food, toxic air, toxic waves, toxic mindsets, and how it's time for us to clear that out. So as people are asking me more and more, okay, Patricia, I'm reading the new series Revelations, I'm all jazzed, I want to be part of this wave, I want to let go of the things that are holding me back, how do I do that? And I don't like pat answers. You know me by now. I like for you to find those truths within you. But I do feel that, overall, it's time for concerted effort to let go of, number one, toxic people. So who doesn't have a collection of people that says things like, ciao Pino, how nice to see you, come stai, tanto tempo. Sorry, had to say hello to an old Italian friend. Toxic people, where was I? Okay. Who doesn't have that collection of people saying, what a bunch of hooey, you're out of your mind, it's meat and potatoes land, and you're out in la la land. And to these people, you can argue until you're exhausted, or you can recognize that these people are still not shifting, and that bless them. But you no longer have to try to convince anybody of where you are and how you feel and the energy that you are experiencing. Let it go. Let them go. I've stopped arguing with people. I had a myriad interviews where someone will argue a point and I just like, that's an interesting point. I don't have to be right. You don't have to be right. Let's move on. And so let go of these toxic people. It's like enough already. Surround yourself with people who support you. And if there aren't such people, personally, I live in a very, let's say, ascetic world. It wouldn't seem so because, I'm kind of public out there. But in my immediate world, there aren't a lot of people. I'm not spending time with a lot of people right now. I love animals. I'm spending time with as many as possible. And I love you and all of the bright stars that are out there and connecting with me energetically. And even personally, like we had this little meetup group in London and was just fabulous. But I am not allowing any more toxic people in my life. And that means saying goodbye to some people. And that's a first step. I've been drumming home to you how important it is to let go of meds and pharmaceuticals and drugs too. Let's talk about that. Here goes the idea. This is not a 1 minute of Zen. It looks like it's going to be 5 or 10. Who hasn't experimented with drugs? I mean, come on. I'm an old hippie, for God's sakes. So I'm not in a position to judge anyone, and I would never. But I'll tell you this, between the pharmaceutical drugs and the recreational drugs, it seems a lot of people are determined not to be in the now moment, not to be in the conscious experience, not to smell the flowers, see the ocean, climb a tree, etc. So be aware that, the time of recreational partying, altered states, I'd like you to just think about how it does have its toxic residue, and that if at all possible, see what you can do to kind of hone in on how that's affecting your energy field. If you're getting, excuse the expression, shit-faced every weekend, and or of course if you're using mood-altering chemicals, you really want to talk about attuning to higher energies. You really want to experience these higher frequencies. I'd like you to consider that maybe it's time to slow that down a bit. And you know who you are, who I'm talking to. I have, I'm Italian. I mean, who doesn't love a fabulous glass or bottle of wine? But lately, my body's saying, no, I don't want this anymore. And I'm listening. And of course, as the scribe channel for the council, there can't be any of that in my body. So that toxicity, I'm pretty much releasing as I speak to you with a cup of coffee, which I will never stop. Coffee is my only drug left. And I defend it to my death. So again, always with a sense of humor about this. Everybody sets their own pace. But today's our moment of Zen is about recognizing what is toxic to you and how you can start to let go of it. So your people who are toxic energy for you, let them go. Just let them go. The toxic chemicals, the food. It's like, you know, I know I'm preaching to the choir because most of the people that are plugged into me are well on their spiritual path. But gotta talk about meat one more time. I had a conversation with someone the other day who said, well, I refuse to use antibiotics. I don't take any meds. I don't this, I don't that. So I consider myself very pure. And I said, do you eat meat? And she said, yeah. I said, you don't think you're getting antibiotics and growth hormone and glyphosate and all this other horrific stuff in the meat? And the question arises, well, what isn't toxic to eat? And boy, I wish I had an answer for that. I wish I could live inside my own holistic garden, and that isn't reality. But as much as possible, you know, I keep asking that question. Are you letting go of the meat yet? It's toxic. It's toxic because of the energy of the animal and the suffering of the animal and the adrenaline of the animal at the kill point. And no, there isn't any biologically kind way to kill an animal for slaughter to be eaten. So don't let yourself be lulled into that idea. And maybe you can start thinking about letting go of the meat. And boy, we've seen something like 600% increase in vegetarianism in the States, or something phantasmagorical like that. How wonderful. I'm thrilled about that. And fellow vegetarians and vegans, congratulations. You're doing something wonderful for your body, for the planet, and hopefully you're teaching your children too. What else is toxic? The air. I'm seeing some pretty scary chemtrail images out there in your photos. You know that the first Syrian information introduced the chemtrails. Back in 1996, nobody knew about chemtrails, and the Syrian Revelations trilogy introduced it. It was the first time I even realized it, was when I looked up after the council said what was going on. And now it's just completely insane. And I flew from Norway, where there were no chemtrails. I flew over London. Holy moly. England, London, you people are being bombarded like, I don't know. Everywhere I fly, I see chemtrails, but I didn't see them in Norway. I've rarely seen them here over my island. And so when I went from pure sky, blue, white puffy clouds to this barrier of ooze over England, I was shocked what I saw from the plane and the ground. And then back to my oasis here in the Azores Islands. And what I can say about that is, as much as possible, you know, be aware, do what you can to protect yourself against these chemtrails. You can get HEPA filters, if anyone would like to know more about that. HEPA, they actually use these filters in nuclear power sites to clean up the air. If I were living under that chemtrail attack, I would have HEPA filters in the house everywhere. So there are, of course, lots of things you can do. And finally, my last comment about toxicity is the mind. And, you know, I'm repeating myself, but I do that. It's a toxic thought to worry about all these things, too. So as much as you can, do what you can to change your environment. Do what you can to release toxic people from your life, toxic situations. These are all things that don't serve us. And know that, on the other hand, worrying or fretting about these situations in your life only calls them in. That is toxic of itself. So surround yourself in laughter, which you know is my forte, and joy as much as you possibly can. And I'm not saying anything new to you today, those of you who know me, but I just wanted to give a little booster of Patricia Cori love and joy, and something to reflect on in my moment of Zen. Let's see, moment, probably about 5 minutes. That's not bad. So, oh, and so many of you are joining in. I love it. Thank you for listening to my little, what do you want to call it? Little blast of positivity. And I will send you more and more and more of these. I'm going to try to do this. It's going to be probably 5 minutes of Zen, but that's your message for today. Come on, guys. Do something wonderful today. Laugh. Find something beautiful. Let go of toxic thoughts, toxic people, toxic food. And for God's sakes, don't take those meds. Speaking of which, some of you are worried about how I am. I'm wonderful. Cough is almost gone. And I'm back in the saddle. All right, that's been your Moment of Zen with Patricia. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back soon. And by the way, thanks to those of you who are signing the petition for the Huskies in Norway. Please, more of you. I need you. I need you behind me to push me forward to be able to go do what I need to do with the Humane Society, Norway, government. I'm not going to stop until I get a response and hopefully help these dogs. So come on, I'm just asking you for a signature. You can do that. Please do that. All right? This is Patricia Cori signing out, and thank you for listening. Big love. Feel my love around you.